dimension.
This is 3D or 2D.com's Duh 3D Show.
Put on your 3D glasses now.
If you're wondering what the 3D stand for, they are discussion, debate, and the news. We hope that you enjoy the show. Get it? The show?
Duh.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this spooky Halloween edition of the 3D Show. 104. So this is going to be our Halloween special and news, because we got a lot of news to talk about. So we can't just do a Halloween special. We got to do both. So I've been on vacation for a little while and come back, and it's just a lot of news that has happened. I'm Adolf Vega. I have with me the fantabulous Classic Jake.
Hello, folks.
And the super marvelous New Jake.
Hi, everybody.
Alright, so today we got a whole bunch of DC comic book movie news because we recently had the DC fandom, and we haven't had a chance to talk about that, so a lot of that's going to be there. I guess the first thing is the newest thing, which, we're going to go back in time. The newer stuff is going to be up front, and the older stuff is going to be in the back. And we're going to have some stories here for Halloween, some spooky stuff. And we're going to talk about some movies you recently watched, too. So it's going to be a great show. All right, the most recent thing is that we got a teaser trailer for Disney Pixar's Lightyear. Did you guys get a chance to see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks really great. It looks like a fantastic kind of way to semi-reboot the Toy Story franchise. It's a prequel, I guess. I guess it's like about the actual person who was inspired the toy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I got the feeling about the movie. It's just it inspired the toy, or maybe it's just a movie that's based off the toy in the TV series in the Toy Story universe. I don't know. Seems interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of the right stuff kind of vibe, a lot of the astronaut stuff that you kind of saw in Apollo 13, but for animated kids movie. I think it definitely looks great, and I'm very excited for this. So I'm assuming it's going to be a 3D movie. I hope it is. Yeah.
Comes out on my birthday, too, so more the reason to watch it.
All right. So we got an Uncharted movie trailer. Now, what do you guys think of this?
Hot garbage. Kind of looks like some of the game, but hot garbage. Poor casting.
Yeah. Tom Holland's way too young for the character.
I mean, I get what they're doing while they're both too young, but it's still, not good.
Yeah, Tom Holland, I love him in Spider-Man, but he just doesn't fill the boots, I guess, is the way of saying it. He looks the part, he just doesn't act the part. He just doesn't have the personality and the presence to hold this movie. It looks fine, but it's still, something about it feels like it's missing something.
Mark Wahlberg is not Sully.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And at least some of the action set pieces look fun, and it looks like a 3D feast if it's in 3D. But
yeah, we don't know if it's 3D.
It just makes me just wish that they were going with because the Nathan Fillion, Stephen Lang fan film is just so good.
Yeah, I did like that.
Mm-hmm. And this just looks so wrong.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion, he's getting up there in age. He's almost 50, if not 50 already. It's just, they could have went so many different routes and not Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. I don't know what they were thinking.
I kind of think Nathan Fillion is maybe a little too old, but I also think he's perfect too. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't played any of the PlayStation games, but I kind of know of the franchise.
Missing out.
Wasn't one of the games released in 3D?
Uncharted 2 and 3, I think.
Okay. So, yeah, it just doesn't feel... It feels too young. It doesn't have that kind of sarcasticness to it that you kind of like. And, yeah, I was really kind of disappointed when, Sony is really good for having 3D, and they didn't mention the 3D aspect. I was like, oh, okay. It's sad.
Probably when it gets closer to release date in February, I think is when it drops.
Yeah, which is a weird time for this. You'd think this would be a summer movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a good counter-programming thing for romantic movies in February, like Valentine's Day and stuff.
Or they know it's hot garbage and they're dumping it in a slow month.
I mean, it worked for Deadpool.
Yeah. Hey, I can remember they dropped The Matrix when they did, and it turned March into a big month.
Yeah, and 300.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I can remember January to April used to be the dead season for movies.
Oh,
complete.
Yeah.
If you were lucky, you'd get a decent horror movie that they couldn't get on screen in October.
Yeah.
It just kind of, I don't know, something about it just does not register. And it's like, yeah, it looks like an Uncharted movie, but there's something about it. It just doesn't. It doesn't have that secret sauce to be like, I want to see that movie. It looks like another crappy video game movie, which is really disappointing because Uncharted movie games have a lot of cinematic aspects to them. That's part of the fun, right? To see those amazing cutscenes and stuff. So, yeah. All right. Next up, we got a sequel announced for a big movie that just came out. That's number 1 2 weeks in a row, which is Classic Jake.
Dune.
Yay! Because Dune 1, not to do a spoiler, but Dune 1 ends on a big cliffhanger, right? It's kind of ends abruptly. So and we already reviewed Dune, but just in case everyone hasn't listened to that review, you guys really like it, or like it enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's the best. Whether you like it or not, it's the best film adaptation of the novel so far.
And there's like 5 novels, right? Classic Jake?
There's a lot more than that. Herbert wrote 6, and then his son has continued on. And I haven't read any of the son's novels.
Okay, so there's a whole Dune universe here.
There's definitely a Duneverse.
And, it's actually really nice because I was really worried about Dune not doing that well. I mean, it's made good money. I don't think it's made fantastic money, but it's definitely one of those things where you could see it flopping hard, and it's doing well enough that to get a sequel from Warner Brothers, that's fantastic,
Yeah.
So that's supposed to come out in 2 years. So I don't know when they're going to be able to get everything going on it, but apparently they filmed a lot that they just cut out. So I don't know how that's going to be, but this is still scheduled for 2023.
Yeah.
So I think that this was they were just. I figured they had already had plans and just didn't tell anybody for whatever reason. Who knows?
I mean, in your written review, you said it was pretty gutsy that they would write Dune Part 1 and then not have any idea if a Dune 2 is actually going to be coming out,
Yeah, that's pretty bold.
Yeah. To leave on a cliffhanger. I mean, that's stuff that TV shows do, thinking, oh, they won't dare cancel us. Well, like I said, but hey, the book is still there. So guess what? If you got to know how it ends, the spoilers are on the page. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You also got the David Lynch film.
Yeah.
And the miniseries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, you did mention in your written review that you were really worried this was going to be like a little Battle Angel all over again, where it's a fun movie, but it ends on a cliffhanger that you never know if they're going to come back to do it. And it's good to know that they are going to come back to finish the story.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
If anything, that will probably drive up sales to this movie, because I can imagine some people will be like, oh, they liked it, but, it cuts off. But if they know for a fact that part 2 is coming, then they might be game, where they might not be game if they heard that, there's a cliffhanger ending and there's no part 2 coming. So
Yeah.
and this is like Warner Brothers.
And the new miniseries too.
Yeah, this is like Warner Brothers' biggest franchise, biggest movie release in a few months, so they're pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the biggest one since heck, it's even bigger than Godzilla vs. Kong at the box office.
Yeah. Because like Space Jam didn't do that well.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad didn't, Malignant, Cry Macho.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going here. We're gonna do all the DC stuff together, so we're gonna keep going here for Marvel stuff. Now, Black Widow. So there was a big lawsuit with Scarlett Johansson, Disney, and she was saying that she should have gotten more money because they got the theatrical and Disney Plus release, and she sued, and Disney has now settled that case. Now, I'm not sure the details, and I'm not really sure if we're going to know publicly the details, but, if they settled it, I'm pretty sure she's pretty happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I think she had every right to sue. She, that wasn't part of the deal when she made the movie, and they've learned a lesson, and it's to have confidence in the box office because 2021, this fall and late summer has been really nice, better than people were expecting, and it has not been too bad. It's been pretty good. So with numbers and money and people going to theaters, it's not as good as it was before, but it's still way better than people were thinking.
yeah. Just knock on wood, just in case.
Yeah. We still got the fall, the winter and the holiday season, and COVID numbers, Delta variant numbers are going down, so maybe we'll get to have some pretty packed theaters soon again.
Yeah.
But I definitely think there is, something there to the home and theatrical release. Now, I don't know if we're there yet, but I think that is coming one way or another eventually. I think there always will be a place for movies and box office, but that is going to be the future one way or another. It just depending on the movie. We'll see how things work out. I think right now they're pretty happy with like a 40-day window, so that the movie comes out 40 days later at home. That way you have enough time.
Yeah. Like Free Guy's still doing pretty decent at the box office, and it's been out for well over 2 months. And it's already out on Blu-ray, and it's still making money for Disney.
Yeah. All right. So, continuing on with Marvel, we have a lot of release dates got pushed. Now, these are not getting pushed because of COVID. They're just because of production. It takes some time to make these movies, and I guess they're behind. Maybe there is some COVID there, but they didn't specifically say because of COVID. Now, these movies did have earlier release dates, and now we have the 2022 and 23 release dates for them. So right now, it looks like Spider-Man No Way Home is going to definitely coming out December 17th, which is very exciting, for us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of more buzz on that, and I don't even know what is rumor and what is true anymore with that.
I mean, possibly a new trailer coming out with Eternals, so we'll see.
All right. So, Doctor Strange and In the Multiverse of Madness. It was a February release. Now it is a May 6th release. 22.
There's a reason for that, because I just read that there is possibly some substantial reshoots starting in December or January. So that's probably why it got pushed back.
And now that one is probably one of the more hyped ones because we've had a lot of multiverse stuff happening in the Marvel Cinematic. We had Loki TV show and we had the What If series. So there's definitely a lot there that are interesting with multiverse stuff and Spider-Man teasing things too. So I am disappointed that's going to take 5, more months, we have to wait till May instead of February. But Doctor Strange, I like him a lot as a character, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Thor: Lord and Thunder, the AKA reboot of Thor with Jane Foster. That's now coming out on
Thor.
July 8th.
Yeah.
Now we've seen like things here and there, but we haven't seen like a teaser trailer for that. We haven't seen teaser trailers for any of these things. So hopefully soon we get one of these things gets a trailer. Maybe Doctor Strange trailer will come out with Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But right now, I'm thinking Disney is figuring, Marvel makes so much money, we don't have to promote, and we'll see with Eternals, because I mean, like, it's got a rotten score now, I believe.
Yep,
I
the first one, yeah, 59%.
Yeah, so if this doesn't debut at number one, Disney may want to rethink their promotion strategies. Just saying.
I mean, there's no other competition, so I mean, I think it's safe to say it's gonna open at number one, but it won't hold probably.
Yeah, but I've always said if they ever have a movie that doesn't open, then they can just claim Inhumans and go, well, we already been down this road before, and throw Inhumans under the bus again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because none of us have seen this movie yet, so we don't know what specifically connects to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what possible seeds it has for future movies. Well, if this flops, if people don't like this movie, will they double down and have more just because they want to continue the story? Or will they just drop it like a sack of potatoes and just move on? We don't know.
It might be the new Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, or they have these plot threads that go nowhere, and maybe in 10 years we'll talk about it. But yeah. Black Panther 2, which doesn't have a number, but I'm just saying the number. Wakanda Forever is now November 2022, November 11th, 2022 release. Now, I really want to see a trailer for this because, like, how are they going to do this without the great late actor Chadwick Boseman? So yeah, I think that's going to be one of the things that in the trailer they have to explain that. They have to just get that out there and show the future what is happening. Yeah. All right. The Marvels is coming out on November 17th, 23. Yeah. Classic Jake, do you have any feelings on the Marvels?
Well, we've seen a movie with one that was more of a Nick Fury Secret Origin than it was a Captain Marvel movie. And we haven't seen Miss Marvel yet, so we have no idea. And we've barely seen the other Marvel, which we don't know what her name's. We don't know if what her name's gonna be, because she's used so many code names. She was on WandaVision, so who knows at this point.
Now, I think the Miss Marvel TV show was supposed to be December of this year. We haven't had anything about this in a while, so this might be delayed, and they don't want to mention it yet. I don't know.
It'll probably come out in February.
Yeah, it's pretty sure it delayed because it looks like Hawkeye's taking its old spot.
Yeah,
we shall see. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and May 5th, 23. It was cold on the second one, but I still really love the director, Gunn, and I think I'm very excited for this. I think this is going to be fun.
Yeah. They reportedly started filming. So.
And then we got the last movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, July 28th, 23. So that a lot of people have been making fun of that movie because they have the Quantumania in this weird font that you can't really read.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
But Bill Murray's going to be in it, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
and he's already filmed his role, apparently.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be a cameo, because when he talked about it in an interview, he said it was one of those things, he wanted to try it, and that was enough for him.
Yeah.
So it's going to probably be something like Harry Dean Stanton in the Avengers movie.
We'll see.
Yeah, it could be a big fake out. He could have signed up for. Also, he could be the Beyonder for all we know.
Yeah.
And Disney did also say that there was an untitled Marvel movie that was supposed to come out October 6, 23, but now that is not happening. So we don't know what movie just did not, happen. Do you have any idea what that could have been, or no?
Blade, probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking Blade. They may decide to maybe make Blade several episodes and put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I imagine that it might just be delayed indefinitely for now. So, yeah, we don't really know what that is. We have no idea. Could it have been a sequel to, Incredible Hulk or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're planning on a solo movie.
Yeah, they're talking like they're going to do a World War Hulk movie, because it looks like Universal wants to make some money.
Yeah.
And another untitled movie is moved to November 10th, 23, or moved from 10 to 3. So I don't know what that could be. Is that
Fantastic Four?
Possibly, or X-Men, or whatever they decide to call the X-Men now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could have been World War Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it was a Luke Cage movie that got delayed to nothing.
Yeah.
Who
or
knows?
it could be a Gambit movie that we've all been waiting all these decades.
I was hoping that would come out, but it never did.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good. I think that we're gonna say Gambit movie, the one that got scrubbed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the what is it? Magneto movie that was also in development that never happened.
Deadpool 3.
No, I think Deadpool 3 is gonna happen. They're gonna wait on it.
They need to hurry.
Yeah, Disney's gonna have to. They're figuring they're gonna have to make a whole studio just so they can release that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got Fox, 20th Century.
Century, yeah, they can release it on 20th Century. And just slap the Marvel. They should just spin Marvel into its own studio. No Disney logos, no nothing, and it's just boom. Just Marvel.
Well, I mean
people think of them as their own thing anyway.
They basically are, and they're releasing about 3 movies a year now, so I think that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus TV and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be funny if the Scrub movie is Morbius.
Will it ever come out?
Because that movie is delayed, and I kind of feel like Sony might have felt bad about delaying that because I don't think anyone cares about that movie at all.
Yeah, it's still coming out in January, but that's notoriously a dead month, so we'll see.
I mean, I almost feel sorry for Jared Leto at this point.
Almost.
Yeah, almost is the key word here.
All right. So let's get to the DC fandom news, which we got a lot of teaser trailers. We got 1 or 2 real trailers. Flash movie teaser looks really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the footage, I suspect a lot of it's been doctored like the way Marvel doctors their trailers. So I think some of the people you see in the trailer I don't think are in the movie. I think they've substituted other actors for who's actually there. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
It is Michael Keaton, so I mean, you got the bat suit and you got the bat car under the sheet because that's what it is under the sheet. You don't need to hide it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think a lot of the stuff in the Flash trailer, I don't know why they're going to keep. I mean, everybody knows that they're going to have a Grant Gustin is going to make an appearance because Ezra Miller made an appearance on the Flash TV show. They might as well just
maybe John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah, that would be actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that DC / Warner Brothers is not stupid, and when they filmed that one scene for Flash or for the crossover event, they filmed the other scene too. And that way, they get the best deal out of that time frame, and so that is sealed up in the Warner Brothers vaults or in the water tower with the Wacko, Yakko, and Dots.
Yeah, and they're furiously working on the special effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm super hyped for Flash movie. It looks like it's finally gonna come out, and I'm game. And I felt like a lot more hot on Flash movie since we got to have the director's cut, the Snyder cut.
Because the Flash went from being a joke to actually a real character with depth and importance, and just made me hyped to see more.
Yes, and he had a pivotal scene that was cut out, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome!" Me and my wife were like, "Run, Barry, run!
Run, Barry, run!"
And it's just like, it worked so well. So I'm super hyped for that. Now, on the other side, I was hyped for the Batman, but I'm not hyped anymore for the Batman. It just looks meh.
Oh, it looks fantastic. Are you kidding?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe for just me, but I'm not digging it. I don't know why.
Oh, it looks great.
This was everything I wanted out of the TV show Gotham, and never quite got.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just a bad movie when I watched it. I don't know, but I wasn't. I don't know. It just doesn't connect with me. But what happens in this trailer?
Batman stuff.
If you want to talk about, does it tell you any story? No. It's, to me, the trailer looked kind of like, had a real feel of, I don't know if you ever read Gotham Central, written by Ed Brubaker, and it has that feel, like it's more about the Gotham PD, because basically it was them picking up after Batman's messes.
Yeah.
And this just had a nice feel to it. And it just really reinvented Batman for the 21st century.
Oh yeah, like the Batmobile looks cool. Colin Farrell as a Penguin looks good. Paul Dano as the Riddler. Just everything about it visually looks amazing. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also dig how the movie, it cost $100 million, but that's not really expensive for, a comic book movie or even a Batman movie. That's pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks great.
It looks luxe.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We got a Black Adam teaser, which is, I think, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm hyped. I like the JSA. I really like Pierce Brosnan. I really like The Rock and some stuff. This looks like it's going to be a blast.
Now, let me clarify. These teasers, Batman was a trailer. These are teasers, but these are more like publicity teasers where you get on the DVD. Oh, this movie is coming out soon. Here's a little, the actress talking about it, not in character. So, like, you have a little bit of that behind-the-scenes stuff there, but it's not like a real teaser, not a real trailer.
It's in concept art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Adam is one of those movies that we've been waiting for like, it feels like 10 years.
It has been 10 years. At this point, is it Gambit going to be longer or Black Adam?
Well, if anything, it's worked out for Warner Brothers' favor because Dwayne Johnson is hot right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got that new movie coming out on Netflix in a couple weeks.
Yeah, him and Ryan Reynolds.
And Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
And Black Adam looked super powerful in this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm game for Black Adam. And speaking of Black Adam, we got Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, got a teaser trailer too.
I'm excited for that one.
Yep.
I love Shazam.
Yep.
We got to see the villains and how you don't know what the plot is at all, but we do get to see two female villains there and going after them. And they said they're going to have all these mythical creatures like centaurs and such. So I'm definitely game for that. It kind of feels like the Wonder Woman sequel we were wanting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not as hyped on the Wonder Woman sequel as I was. I still think it was still decent, but this looks like what we really wanted. You know, where Wonder Woman fights mythical gods, and
this looks fun.
We're going to get Shazam. Yeah, exactly. We get to see the rest of the Shazamly too, and
new costumes, new action, bigger action.
Yeah. For new action figures.
Yeah. Yes. We got the new Funkos.
Yeah, that's why every movie now superheroes gets a new costume.
Yep.
Now,
merchandising.
I'm not 100% sold on the new Shazam. I actually love that it glowed in the dark in the original, movie.
I think it will. I think they'll make it glow in the dark, or at least light up.
Because that was so cool. That was something that you never saw before, and they actually did it with practical effects, and it really, really helped the scene and make it more interesting of a suit. But I'm definitely game for more Shazam.
Yeah, I want to see Shazam walking through a tunnel, and he just lights up the way, like we hold our cell phones.
Yeah. And all the kids look like they've grown up a little bit too, and it all works out, and I dig it.
Yeah.
All right, and finally we got Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom teaser clip thing. It seems like they give us this at the least one we got anything for. Which is kind of weird because we think this would be more so, but it seemed okay.
Well, I think it's because Aquaman was like so far the only $1 billion grossing DCEU movie, so they probably want to keep that under wraps as possible. And I also liked how they didn't have Amber Heard in any of the promotional stuff.
Yeah, we'll see if they write her off or if they're going to just not, figure out a way around her being in the movie.
I mean, she's in the movie, but I mean, I don't think she's going to be in any of the promotional stuff, at least until the movie comes out next year.
Yeah. I did. There has been a lot of secrecy because, remember the Trench movie?
Yeah. That's supposed to be a Black Manta.
Yeah, exactly. It was a smokescreen for a Black Manta solo movie, but James Wan said it looks like that's on the back burn. Part of it, the reason it's got canceled, but there's a possibility of resurrection, is because, remember, they just sold Warner Brothers to Discovery, and they're probably going to look at stuff, whether they want to continue on with it or not. And that's one of the movies in that zone.
I just really don't care about Black Manta, because he was okay in Aquaman. It's just there was nothing to him except revenge.
Yeah.
In the comics, though, he's got a great story.
I mean, fair. I mean, but in the film, they just didn't flesh it out, except you killed my daddy and help me save my daddy. And it's like, nope.
Yeah. Well, I'll mention this from the comics. It's probably not going to be in the movie, and it's probably not going to. But Black Manta kills Aquaman's son.
Yeah,
that's kind of dark.
Yeah, I mean that was an awesome scene from the Justice League Unlimited show. I think where he tried to kill him, but then he cuts off his arm or hand to get the hook. That would be badass for a movie. Just have that,
Exactly. Yeah, pirate Aquaman.
Yeah, I think that'll probably happen at some point.
Yeah, but they'll have to have the character there, the kid, and everything. But who knows? We don't know anything about this movie at all.
No.
Yeah.
Besides
for another year.
The name, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that DC fandom, I think DC is really bringing it, and they're doing a really great job here with this. And I don't really miss Comic-Con anymore. I feel like everything's replaced it now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why even go to Comic-Con anymore? You can't get in Hall H,
Yeah.
and everything happens.
And other movie news, Venom, Let There Be Carnage box office has now grossed $356 million worldwide, so it is on track to be the number 2 movie of 2021.
Yeah. I mean, it's still not as good as the first film's $800 million, but I mean, COVID.
Yeah, it's still not shabby in the COVID pandemic apocalypse.
But
Yeah,
but I don't think it's gotten released in China yet either. So that's probably another reason why it's kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
but still, that's great news for them. Sony must be thrilled.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
this is yet again a relatively cheap comic book movie at like $100 million, kind of like the first movie. So
Yeah, and Andy Serkis has kind of redeemed himself as a director.
yeah, that's not a great movie, but I mean, yeah.
But I mean, he was getting all sorts of crap about Jungle Book, and I thought a lot of it was undeserved.
You mean Mowgli?
Yeah, they changed the name of it. That's right.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Just remember, it was filmed as Jungle Book.
Yeah, I mean, because, Disney's Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah.
get sued.
Yeah, really.
All right. So we're going to do something different right now. We're going to talk about some movies we've seen recently. I just thought we haven't recorded a podcast in a couple weeks, so we haven't had a chance to really talk about some movies. So we're just going to have a little bit of time to talk about this right now. I reviewed No Time to Die. I loved this movie. I don't know about y'all.
So good.
Yeah, I liked it, even though it was an hour too long.
Yeah, it was too long. I'll give you that. We're not going to talk about spoilers. We're just going to say overall thoughts. Now, I love the 3D in this. I don't know about y'all.
It was quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I love the hand grenades.
oh yeah.
That was my absolute favorite scene in the movie in 3D.
You mean the title sequence didn't?
That's technically not in the movie. That's the title sequence.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But man, it was so wonderful.
I almost stood up and cheered, but the people I was with made me behave. They put their hands on my shoulders and shoved me down. Because that was
also, yeah.
I was like, and you got to see it was Daniel Craig too, because you remember the old Bond sequence. They had filmed that even before they cast Sean Connery, and so it wasn't even him.
Yeah.
It was not. Oh, they had so many little Easter eggs in this movie too. They really went out with the fan. I was joking. This movie should have been could have been called On Her Majesty's Fan Service.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, it pretty much is.
Mm-hmm, but it was a great way to go out for Daniel Craig, figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
Kind of shocking, but I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah. So, what do you guys give the 3D in the movie? My review is already up. I give it a 9 out of 10 and a great 3D.
Yeah, great 3D.
Great 3D, 8 out of 10 for the movie.
007. Come on, you knew I had to.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though, and it's well made. There's some parts here and there that I was like, "What happened to the 3D?" And then, oh, there it is. Okay, there. I love the gun, the barrel being in 3D. I was like, "Oh my god, yes!"
Yes.
It's so good.
I was the only person in the theater.
Yeah, me and my friend were the only people in the theater because some people came in and they're like, "Why is the screen so blurry?" And they're like, "We're in the wrong theater." So it was just him and I for 3 hours.
I saw the Addams Family too. It's as bad as you guys think it is.
Is it worse than the first one?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, the first one was just mediocre junk, so I dared to see what this one's going to be.
So I did a full review for patrons, and patrons will have access to that right now. And I also saw, because I was in the Halloween mix, I wanted to see another Halloween spooky movie because Addams Family kind of plays that role. I decided to watch the Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was as bad as I thought it was going to be too.
I've only seen the first two.
It's just so basic. It's just so basic.
Yeah.
Again,
But at least they waited till the third movie for the vacation.
yeah. Again, that's for patrons to listen to right now. New Jake, what other movies have you been watching?
Halloween Kills.
How was that?
Awful.
Oh, wow.
Surprisingly awful. Yeah. I mean, after the first, not the first movie, but like the 18th remake or reboot, like the one from 2018 was quite good, but this one is just so bad. I hated it.
Classic Jake, did you watch this or no?
I haven't seen it. Not yet.
Just know Evil dies tonight because they repeat it 18 million times.
So it's basically a drinking game movie.
No, you're gonna die before the halfway point if you do that. It was so awful. It was a huge disappointment.
That's a damn shame because that other one, the reboot, was nice. It's
like they sidelined Laurie Strode. The humor stuck out even more. The kills were brutal, but they just were unnecessary. Like the whole movie just sucked. It was so bad. It was trying to be like a commentary of like mob mentality, but it just failed at that too. I hated it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
All right. You also saw Ron's Gone Wrong.
Ron's Gone Wrong.
The review should be up too, but just anyone that hasn't listened to that review, what's your overall thoughts on it?
It's a cute movie. It's good for families. It feels like it's 2.5 hours long, but it's a good movie. The 3D was really good.
Okay, what was your score?
If you can find a 3D, the 3D, God, like 8 or 9 out of 10. I'll say 8, and then the movie is like a 6. Solid entertainment for families and kids.
All right, Classic Jake, what movies have you been watching lately?
I saw Annette, Leo Carax.
Okay.
That's the one. That's the opera with Adam Driver singing while performing cunnilingus.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, that's enough of that. What else did you watch?
It.
I watched The Lion King live on. It was at the Majestic Theater in San Antonio. So it was the Disney live action Lion King theatrical play, and it was really great.
Huh.
The puppet work is fantastic, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is so good that it's a play because how they do, puppets and how they do different animals are really clever, and it just works really well for the story. Like certain characters were like dressed up as animals, and it really worked. Like there was like one character that I didn't like Timon and Pumbaa. Timon, like there's like a green screen guy, but it was like a puppet that he was walking around in. It was really distracting because it was green, and it wasn't like black or brown. So Pumbaa, the guy was actually like had an afro and like was like wearing a full body kind of I don't know what it like a outfit, and it was like a mechanical outfit that it just looked really cool, and like they had like giant elephants and great music. Yeah. If you ever have a chance to see Lion King as a play, they put it all out there. Now, the only problem with it was it felt long. There were some additional scenes here and there that just like it kind of dragged, but still, I thought it was a great time.
Cool.
Better than the CGI Lion King, but not as good as the original animated Lion King.
Fair.
I was gonna watch Hotel Transylvania 4 Transformania. But apparently that movie got delayed.
January.
Which makes no sense at all. Because it was supposed to come out on October 1st. And then Amazon bought it. And now it's going to be a January movie. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you, Amazon? It's a digital movie. That movie's done. Are they like redoing reshoots or something with it? Because
I think it's just going to be maybe they're going to plan a theatrical release in January, like a minor one. Like, I don't know. That's just my theory.
But if they were going to make it an Amazon Prime, video exclusive, release it now. It's Halloween, for God's sakes.
I know, right?
Why do you spend that much money to push it to January when no one cares?
Yeah, because they paid $100 million for it.
Yeah.
There's another animated monster movie out right now too, called Monster Family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a ripoff of the Addams Family, and as far as I know, no 3D, but it's only like playing on one screen in Oregon.
You should go see it.
No.
It's probably already out at Walmart on DVD because they usually are like that.
All right, so let's wrap up this show with some spooky stuff. Some scary stuff for Halloween. So, what fun Halloween stories do you have, Classic Jake, that you want to share? That it could either be a personal, or it could be a movie, or 3D related. Just whatever spooky stuff you want to share.
Okay, let's talk about the granddaddy of all 3D movies, which also fits in with the spooky season, House of Wax, who many consider to be the greatest 3D movie ever made, and I'm among those. I think if it's not the absolute greatest, it's sure up there. It's an incredible movie.
Not Parasol Syndrome.
Oh, hell no. Oh, no. The director had one eye, so he made sure everything was measured out. Nobody eyeballed doing the 3D. It was all calculated, which is why it looks so damn good.
Interesting.
This is the
who's the director?
Andre Dututh.
Oh, okay.
Just to clarify, this is the one with Vincent Price from 1953,
Yes.
right?
Charles Bronson has a small part too. He wasn't billed as Bronson at the time. Like, God, I cannot remember his real name. But he hadn't. Yeah, but he hadn't changed it yet. And there's a great sequence where he runs onto the screen. Gets me every time.
Interesting.
And there's a really good. And they have one kind of pop out. It's a Barker, and he's hitting a paddle ball, and the ball comes at you. It's one of those things
classic 3D
pop out. That's the only reason it exists is to have a pop out. It kind of stops the movie, but it is a cool effect.
Yeah.
But and Carolyn Jones, who some of you will remember her as Morticia Adams. She plays the roommate of the lead. And it's just a great time. The great 3D and one of Vincent Price's best performances. Not that he ever really gave a bad one, but he managed to take such an evil character and make him so sympathetic.
Mm-hmm. All right. New Jake, do you have any 3D stories, spooky stories like that to share?
No, not really.
All right. Now, this one is not necessarily scary like Halloween, but it is, I don't know. I'm just remembering my experience from watching The Walk, which is a movie that came out a couple of years ago about an artist that walked between the Twin Towers. And
the Robert Zemeckis film?
Yes. Love that movie.
Okay.
Great. And The Walk itself, because you do have that filmed, where he walks on a tightrope across the two buildings, and the amount of depth in that scene was incredible, like the most amount of depth I've ever seen, and it scared the hell out of me.
And, I can imagine, because that was the World Trade Center he walked in between, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I was lucky because whenever I watched the movie, we watched it. We got free screening tickets. This was back in the day when they were doing this, and we got to see it in IMAX 3D, and it was awesome.
Oh, nice,
awesome.
Too bad that movie flopped.
Oh yeah, but it's a great movie. But that scene where they're walking through there, I was like gripping my chair and like, oh my god, you know, like just like the 3D depths added so much to this movie. You know, there's another thing with Gravity, just how intense that movie was. How, you know, it's in a way a horror movie in a way, and it's scary because you weren't sure, you know, how things are going to play out and debris flying around, and it's a survival kind of thing, but it's a different kind of, it's not really like a traditional monster horror movie, but in a way it's like a thriller that I think is super exciting. My wife said, I love the movie, the 3D was awesome, but I never want to see this again. It was just too intense.
I bet. I mean, I know a lot of people think it's unrealistic, and I guess I could see that, but it would be a scary situation to be trapped in space like that.
Now, there's a rare movie, Classic Jake, that, or it's not even a movie, it's a music video.
Thriller.
So, talk about that, because that is like a super rare thing that I think very few people know about or heard about, and I'm guessing there's only a handful of people that have seen this. So, talk about it again, please.
Well, I was blown away by the conversion. I mean, it was just they just did an awesome job, breathed new life into it. I mean, let's not hash John Landis and Michael Jackson's careers. It's done in the past, and this isn't the time or place, but I'm going to acknowledge it. So you can't accuse us of whitewashing the past. But having said all that, why in the hell has this not been released to see at home in 3D? I mean, you spent all this time, effort, money, and you did an incredible job. It looks beautiful. Release it.
What movie was it attached to?
It was The House Without Clocks.
Yeah.
Not even a 3D movie. That's weird.
No, that's what's weird. It was 3D in some markets. US wasn't one of them.
Right.
Well, yeah, the house that has clock, or the house with the clock on the walls, it's just a weird, bad title. Like, it just does not come off the tongue easily. And
yeah, exactly. It's not memorable. I can't even remember what it exactly was, and it just looked like a knockoff of Goosebumps.
Yeah, it's Eli Roth's family movie. That's what it's going to be named forevermore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did remember watching that movie, and it was with Jack Black, and like his nephew wants to learn about magic, and it was okay, but I don't remember anything else besides that, and that is like the trailer, you know. And I watched that movie. I don't remember it at all. It's just But for some reason,
I know Kyle MacLachlan's a villain.
Yeah.
Another Dune call out.
It was obviously filmed with 3D in mind because of the angles. And when I found out it was released in 3D in other markets, I was like, they're doing that to us again.
Yeah, my wife and I went to the theater, and we just missed it. Like, it was like an hour before. And we're like, well, we could it's like, it's not even worth going in the theater now. It's already started. Like, we didn't even know, because it was like last second, right? It was literally, oh yeah, by the way, Michael Jackson's Thriller is going to be attached to this other movie that you don't care about, and you have to watch both movies back to back. I was like, what? What is going on? And then that Thriller was like, now the song is incredible. Michael Jackson's choreography is amazing, and for a music video, it's too good to be just a stupid music video.
Yeah, I mean, 15-minute long. I mean, it's really sweet.
Yeah.
Bunch of classic practical effects, so it holds up really well. I mean, this should be in the theaters. You just go in the theaters and have it there presenting before your spooky movie. This should be in front of Coraline or in front of Paranorman, and you know, for a Fathom event, have a double feature and you get to pick, you know, Michael Jackson's Thriller on top of Coraline or Nightmare Before Christmas, and you know, that would be something you could you know, have that 3D experience that is fun. I wish that was something happening right now. I mean, right now you have the Fathom events, but you have them being these classic movies from, you know, the 30s, which is cool, but still, I would like this. This would be a cool thing. This should be something that everyone gets a chance to see. Because the 3D was great in this. Classic Jake?
Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah, it was stellar. It's one of the best conversions I've ever seen. Of course, when you have 15 minutes, it's a lot easier to do that than a 2+ hour movie.
I think a great double bill with that would be the Captain EO movie that he did with Francis Ford Coppola and that Thriller video that converted in 3D. That'd be a nice little double bill. Oh,
yes, most definitely. And while we're drinking, they should bring back the conversion of T2 and along with the 4D experience.
Yeah, the T2 the T2 3D experience from Universal Studios or whatever, the ride.
Shutting down this year, I think, or it's already shut down.
Yeah. That's one of the weird things about 3D is the ephemeral nature of it, where some things can just disappear and you'll never see it in 3D again. You'll never see the Blu-ray, and if you didn't experience it, then you may never experience it, and it sucks. But it's one of those things. It's like you know, we should have that. I mean, I think you know, if you want to have a classic movie, you know, you could have also Thriller plus House of Wax. You know, that way that could be for the older generation, or Thriller plus this, and you know, the Jackson family can make a ton of money on that, and I don't think anyone's going to care about if they didn't pay for it, because I mean, it's 15 minutes and it's such a good. It's so well done. I love Thriller. I love the song. I love the choreography. You know, Thriller is amazing, and it holds up so well.
Yes.
Heck, if I was Facebook, Meta, or whatever they call themselves this week, I would get that and have it where you could see it on the Oculus.
Yeah, that would be nice. Like, have some sort of archive where you could at least stream it on a headset or something. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Okay. Is there any other spooky stories, Classic Jake, that from your childhood, maybe, of ghost stories for our fans to listen to?
None that are G-rated, so I should just keep my mouth shut.
All right. Well, we'll include an R-rated for a version of this podcast for patrons. So, yeah, we're gonna have that story, but you have to pay for it
someday.
But it's going to be part of the extended edition of this podcast for patrons. All right, I guess that's going to be it for us. Happy Halloween. Have a great November. See you guys later. Bye.
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 Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D, Mr. Bengal 5, and Kevin Winter for your financial support on Patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.